Are we ready to go? Okay. Hello, we are on the air. We are here at the Wizard 88.3, coming at you live. We're about to play some songs. We're Bad Blood from Chicago. Hope you like it. This is a new one that is not on our EP, Josh. The song is called Judgment.
I think you're something to say. But that they won't even say you my face. I don't admire the silence. That's a coward trick. Nothing under your own breath. I'm with you for the sun. 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 I went to the sun.
All right, that was. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Excuse us while our drummer adjusts the kick drum. This song is called Blur.
We have to look around and feel off the sun. Don't start to try to remember me on. What are you gonna say around the face? Goodbye. This is not the one that is a power to see. This is really what you want, or what you believe. Are you really at Secret my girl dead inside. Let it make you what you just all the same. Mechanical mind won't get you very far. I'd rather die than become what you are. With a living day and it's all the same. Got me on chance, no stuff in the brain. Walking all around like the life is happening. That's what you want, what you want. Right! It's a phone, the other day, it's a close to do. It's all a blur. Your day is clear. What have you become? Is that what you want? You know what time it is. Excuse us while our drummer adjusts his headphones. It's just part of the song. Don't worry about it. It's just part of the song.
Alright, so that's what's called Face the Day.
This song's all rising up, brother. Step up to the plate, days are dead. Get over this stuff, days are dead. Get up and face the day. Get rid of the bullshit. Take on the way until the begin. Step up to the plate, days are dead. Get over this stuff. Days are dead, doors wide open. Days are dead, keep on moving forward. And days are dead. This is the circle part. Get up, break these chains, hit a one, piece of bed. Time is short, ticking back. Just move on with the man. Step on to the plate. Days are dead, get over this stuff. Days are dead. The only thing all you best to do. You wanna get ahead, you gotta do it. Go find yourself. We did that. That song goes out to Godsmack.
Guys, where can I find your music?
That's a great thing. You can find all of our music, which is just 5 songs, at bandcamp.com.
Or YouTube.
Or the YouTube. You can go on the YouTube and find the music.
That's hot. That's topical. That's good.
Our logo is the real slammy looking one that you can kind of read but barely read. So if you look at a logo and it says Bad Blood and you can't read it, you found us. You found us, all right.
Oh, man. What's next? Hatred.
This song is on the Josh Hot EP. This song is called Hatred. It's orange for la resistance.
What the hell is that thing? Number one, I am the terror in the signs of order. Now it's taken, and I made a plan whether I could run. What you turning your own misery? What I painted by your clarity. What you turning your own misery? What I painted by your clarity. Now die, and they lost me. Judgment. If the rest of the blood is not without it, you would have been shed. What you turning your own misery? What I painted by your clarity. What you turning your own misery? What I painted by your clarity. Feel your memory down. Your happiness is all to do.
That was our breakup song. It's our version of a ballad, I like to think. Okay, so the funny thing about this song, this song is for anybody who's ever felt depressed and felt like they don't really have anywhere to go. And the whole point of this song is so people understand that there's other people that feel the same way and there is a reason to carry on. So that being said, this song is called No Safety On. Looking for an answer.
No safety on. Feel the human. Real scorn. No safety on. Once as I splatter across these walls.
Thank you very much. We're going to take a little break.
Stay tuned for the interviewing after this.
And more music.
And more music. New music coming up.
More music.
And you're listening to WZRD 88.3, The Wizard, and we'd like to thank Bad Blood for taking the time to come and perform for us this evening.
And it's very much also, thank you for tuning in. And also, thank you so much for tuning in and taking the time to listen to us. Like I said, we'll be interviewing next, and then after that, we'll be playing some new music for you guys. So don't go anywhere.
First of all, how long has the band been around?
I'd say roughly 6 to 7 months. Damien and I started jamming together in like June, maybe July, and then everything just kind of pieced in.
Get closer.
Oh, sorry.
No?
Like
Yeah.
directly into it? Okay,
Oh.
my bad. Sorry, we're new. I'm new at this.
So you're fairly a new band. How was it trying to find a singer? I mean, how did first of all, it makes you unique where there's a female vocalist, and it's not just sort of a whiny pop vocal. It's sort of the Cookie Monster growl type.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, how did you discover her, or how did you say, hey, you know what? Why don't you sing for us?
So I used to be in a band with this guy named Fabian, and he had shared a couple posts of Des of her singing and doing vocal covers, and I kind of just as the years went on, I always kind of remembered that. And when I decided to put this band together with Damien, I was like, you know what? Let's do something that isn't necessarily different, but that's something that's kind of, I guess, uncommon, and that's have a female vocalist who, I mean, grabs the mic and just kills it.
I guess to talk a little bit further about that. How did you discover? I mean, how did you find out you could sing like that? I mean, is it just like one day you were in the shower, you stepped on something like ah?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't kind of raised with this music because it was kind of like a black sheep thing in my family. So like, I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but like once I discovered like Under Oath and ASCII, and it was kind of like, they speak to me, whatever, guys, whatever. They always make fun of me for it because a lot of people hate them, but whatever. But I taught myself how to scream to that, and then like ever since then, I tried to get in the local scene. So I've been on and off since I was like 15 in the local scene. I just kind of like progressively got better from there, and I learn like, stage presence from these guys. And, it's an evolving process for me still to this day. But other than that, that's just how I picked up on it. It's just like an outlet. It's a different outlet than most people, I guess, So once I figured I could do it, I was like, why not just ride with it,
Now, growing up, were you a singer? Did you sing normally?
No, I went straight into screaming. Honestly, I think I probably picked up on clean vocals after I started screaming. Yeah.
I guess for the rest of the bands, she just gave us some of her like influences that got her into this type of music. About the rest of the band, I mean.
Hello, I'm Damien. I'm
Welcome, Damien.
I'm the freeloader here. What was your question again?
I guess she just gave us some of the influences that got her into this type of music. How about yourself, Damien?
Oh God. Well, I started off with Metallica. Yeah, I started off with Metallica.
Now, is that a bad thing now, or is it?
Is it a bad thing now? No, it shouldn't be.
Okay.
It shouldn't be. I started off with Def Magnetic though, so that might be a bad album to start.
Hey, you know
off
what?
with.
At least you didn't pick up that drum can sound, right?
Oh my God, the Saint Anger sound. Yeah, no, that's. I want a slam tone on the snare, but I don't know.
It's not yours, right?
It's not mine. Freeloader. But yeah, no, I started off with Metallica, and then I built my way up to like deathcore, slam, and stuff like that. Hardcore. Well, now I'm into hardcore, mostly hardcore, but I built my way up progressively and like brutally, I guess, in a way. Yeah. So yeah, very violent. Yeah. So
Now there's no turning back, huh?
yeah, no turning back. So I started at a young age too. I was like 10 when I first heard Metallica, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Then I was like 12 when I was like listening to Dying Fetus, and I'm like, what? Yeah. So yeah.
How about the rest of the band? Anything abnormal? Like
I think Dan's the most abnormal one out of all of us.
I'm Dan. My biggest influence in music would definitely be Coheed and Cambria. They're like an emo prog type group, totally different from what we play in Bad Blood. And I don't know, I really dig them. Disturbed, Godsmack, Slipknot, stuff like that. Yeah. My dad was into metal when I was a kid, so I've been listening to metal since I was like 4 years old, and it's just stuck with me since then. So
it's kind of cool that you follow the tradition as opposed to sometimes people like, I don't want to listen to my dad's music and go totally the opposite. So.
Oh yeah, no, I would go to shows with my dad all the time. It was awesome.
Did your dad get in the mosh pit?
He did when he was young, but he stopped because of injuries and stuff like that. But he played in bands of his own and stuff. So I would go to all his shows, and yeah.
Pretty cool dad.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome.
How about the rest of you guys?
All right, everybody. I'm Mikey. Rhythm / lead guitarist, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. Dennis. It's too big. I'm like Kevin Hart. But my discovery for music, I mean, it's been kind of like weird. I grew up on like some Cuban music with my grandfather. I started listening to Metallica like with WWE, and then like 5 years of Guitar Hero experience. So it was like just listening to music with that.
It's the truth. That's where it starts.
It was Guitar Hero. Then like all of a sudden throughout high school, I just have this like Slipknot phase where I would just constantly listen to Slipknot 24/7.
Now playing Guitar Hero, did you notice how completely different it is to actually playing a real instrument?
To an extent, like the technique with strumming, it's kind of the same thing, but like fretting and like hitting the strings, it's such a difficult task. But drumming, on the other hand, like most of my drumming skills is because of that game.
Same rock band.
And the guitar player, or the other guitar player.
Hello, I am Nick. I am Papa Bear Nicholas. I got into music basically like from the start. My mom and dad were really big into like metal and punk and stuff like that. So when I was born, my mom would always listen to like Metallica, Slayer, and Anthrax. Same thing with my dad. I remember one year it was Thanksgiving, my birthday, and Slayer rolled into town for my 5th birthday. And let's just say Thanksgiving and my birthday was set aside for the day. My parents went to go see Slayer instead. So. And then just as I got older, I just remember, being a young kid in my dad's car, just listening to stuff like Death and Anthrax and SOD. And on my mom's side of things, she was really more into punk, so I would listen to more of like probably like no, not I show her Leftover Crack. My mom was really into like the Misfits and the Street Brats. They're actually a Chicago local band. And then just as time went on, I just started finding things on YouTube. And like Mikey said, Guitar Hero, like I think that's how I discovered Stricken by Disturbed was through Guitar Hero, and just as time went on, you know, balancing that off of friends and my parents, I just got heavier. I went from listening to, like everybody else said, I think everybody started with Metallica for the most part. I went from listening to Metallica to stuff like Dying Fetus and Visceral Disgorge and bands you just literally cannot understand the lyrics at all. So I think it's just with the help of my parents and my friends and thankfully YouTube, that's just kind of how everything really evolved for me on a personal level.
It sounds like most of you guys, you learned it through your parents. What is the age range in the band in Bad Blood?
I believe Dan, are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest. I'm 19.
Dan's 19. Everybody, Des, Mikey, and myself, we're 20, and Damien's the oldest. He's 21, so we're pretty much all within like a year or two of each other.
Yeah, so I mean that's why it not surprises me, but I was like, wow, you guys are young. If your parents were into metal, usually you know you get people. Oh, my dad was into the Doors and whatnot.
My dad was like, "Hey son, you ever hear of Morbid Angel?" I'm like, "No, but this is awesome."
Since some of your parents were metalheads, did you go into their clothing and take their rock T-shirts?
No.
Or they didn't have any?
Oh yeah, I definitely did. I would take like my dad's like battle jackets and stuff like that with all the patches and stuff on there. Yeah, he had all the Disturbed T-shirts because we were big Disturbed fans growing up. So yeah, yeah.
In regards to your band logo, you know, you have the death metal font. Did one of you guys draw it, or you paid somebody to do it?
So we went to this guy. His like I guess his stage name, his brand. That's his brand name is 5 milligrams, and he's done artwork for Rain, Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre, this old thrash band Mikey and I were in called Asphyxiator. He did our logo, and we just really liked how fast and productively he worked. And I mean, his artwork is amazing for a great price. So once we kind of realized what we were doing with the whole hardcore, but yet we all still like extreme music, we kind of figured, okay, well, what if we merge them together? And 5 milligrams was the first person that in my head that I felt could do the job. And I've been nothing but happy with the logo, and people are receiving it very well too. So
it definitely does look professionally done. Like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah.
You just mentioned you know, a few of the local bands, Rain and Texas Toast. I'm always surprised at how like metal sort of made a comeback in the Chicago area. You know, it's like you can actually see metal bands. You know.
Oh, most definitely. I feel like not only is the metal scene growing, but so is the hardcore scene, and it's cool that, you know, I feel like in the early 2000s, like everybody was a rapper. I feel like everybody had bars, everybody had a message, and now I feel like it's time for people are finally recognizing that the more aggressive music not only takes more skill, but it's good. You know what I mean? It's still there. I feel like like you said, it's kind of making a comeback, and people are recognizing that finally.
Like I was going to say, when you guys were in high school, but that's just a few years back. You know, did you notice the other kids were into the metal too, or were you misfits and nobody like?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Dan and I went to Taft, and like, I mean, obviously, you know, if you see someone likes metal or has any music, like, hey, dude, what's going on, man?
Metal.
Yeah, you make friends, but then you really look at the big picture. You're in a school of 3,300 kids, and you have 5 friends that really like that kind of music. It's not a lot. I mean, that's how it was for me at Taft. Like, Mikey, what was it like at Schurz?
It's almost in the same neighborhood, like the same
Back
area.
at Schurz, man, like Schurz was just filled with a bunch of scene kids. Like, I'm not gonna lie, blood on the dance floor, asking Alexandria. No offense to you. No offense to you, Des. I'm just saying, like, that's what a lot of people were listening to, and it's like I just started listening to like different music like after graduation. So I started listening to Municipal Waste, Evil, Silosis. That's when I started to get into like a lot more thrash metal than I have now, or back then.
You sort of, you know, you're talking about thrash. You know, heavy metal itself has like many different genres. You know, with the band itself, is there anyone that prefers a certain genre over another? Like some people say, oh, I like death metal. No, I like thrash metal. I like, you know, prog metal or whatever.
Trap.
Yeah, that's I think that's probably my favorite thing about Bad Blood is that we all have such different tastes in music. Like Mikey is really into thrash, Nick's into death metal, slam. I'm into metalcore, post-hardcore. Damien's straight hardcore. Dez, no one really knows what Dez likes, but I mean, Post Malone. I mean, Rich Chigga.
Shout out to Jay Savage, by the way.
I guess as soon as you guys start touring outside of the Chicagoland area, you'll soon find out, what everybody's, favorites are. Or what? Right. Have you guys toured outside of Chicagoland yet? Or?
We went to Bloomington, Illinois a couple weeks back. We played a show with Bite. Big shouts out to Bite from Bloomington, Capital Offense, Short Leash, and then there was us. It was really cool. It was in a small basement. It was like about, 30, 35 people in there, maybe 40. Yeah, it was really cool. It was just it was basically like a little, like a little jam session with all the bands. It was, really cool.
I saw that you guys played the Cobra Lounge, so I'm sure you guys played basement shows and have played finally, big stage like the Cobra Lounge. Did you find what do you prefer, basement shows or a big show like that?
As of right now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really digging these basement shows. We've gotten a lot of movement at our shows. A lot of, the pit opened up, and it's weird. It's weird to be in a band where you take pride in other people's injuries, but we had.
Shout out to Giuliano for breaking his nose in our pit.
We had our buddy broke his nose in our pit and had to have it relocated. This other girl on Facebook, she goes by the name Serotonin. She actually, her tooth got bent back. So when she looks at you forward, her teeth are bent. So, I think the reason why we kind of take pride in that is because, the whole point of us playing music is to release and to make other people feel good in a sense, just be like, oh man, this feels awesome. But you see people getting hurt and it's not, oh dude, you got hurt. That's it's like, dude, you were going so hard that you literally put your body out on the line and hurt yourself. Thank you. You get a free t-shirt now.
That's
cool.
Just
so you know, if you get an injury at one of our shows, you'll most likely get a free t-shirt.
Either that, come in already prepared with some fake blood on it, right?
Well, hey. Then you're part of the show at that point.
I was just going to mention, are you guys familiar with a band called Drowning?
Yeah, we're familiar with them. They're pretty tight.
Just because you mentioned sort of people getting crazy and hitting each other and whatnot, I was just looking through Facebook, and I guess they put a post that they were supposed to play a show somewhere.
Yeah, they were supposed
and
to play,
they got
Sunday.
Sort of kicked off the bill because somebody was claiming that they were too violent, and the promoter or the club owner said, no, we can't have you guys now.
Yeah, we saw that, and that sucks. Nobody should ever really be denied the chance to play music and express themselves, but I mean there's not really much for me to say. It sucks, and they're missing out on a good show, sadly, but I'm pretty sure they're thinking about it the way we are. It is what it is, and the only thing they can do is do another show that is better and accommodates to, I guess, their standards, their ways. I'm not exactly sure how to phrase this.
Either that, or they've built up a bad reputation now, and they're not going to be allowed to play anywhere, which kind of sucks. So.
Which would suck because people getting rowdy. I guess you could say it's the band's fault, but you don't control those people when they're out in the pit. If there's people being excessive in what they're doing, these are adults who are aware of their actions and should take responsibility for it. And it sucks that in this case, Drowning is being put to blame for that just because they're up on stage, they're playing music. Those guys aren't hitting anybody in the face or throwing garbage cans or anything like that. They're just up there holding instruments, literally bound to a 20-foot platform, if that.
I'm pretty sure they're young guys, but back in the day, you're talking about the mid '80s. The Metro quit having punk shows because the crowd was getting too crazy, and they didn't want to deal with insurance issues. So I can see club owners, if they think there's going to be a risk somewhere, they're not going to allow it, or they're not going to, do it. So sometimes, the audience needs to take it easy because, you know.
It's funny, in one of their videos, actually, they have like a little insert of like one of the club owners getting mad at like everybody, for their video and judgment, and Brian's like, he's like, F each other up, but not the place, and then like the song starts, and you just see holy hell break loose. But it's like they try, and again, like I said, like they're not in charge of those people. Those people do what they want, and they're adults, so they should be taking responsibility for their actions. And it sucks that the band has to deal with that as a blowback.
In regards to you guys, when's the next gig for?
We'll
Bad
be
Blood?
playing December 30th. It is going to be a show at this place called The Deli. It's us. It's a debut of this hardcore band called Bone Stomper. We're playing with another band called Deaf Ear and this other band called Decay. I think they might add some more, but that should be December 30th. It's New Year's Eve.
Is it in the city, or is it the old Ask a Punk or Ask a Metalhead or Ask a?
Ask for the address. Message the band page or us, and it's a DIY show.
Sounds good. I guess if you want to, play some more, it'd be awesome.
Sure. Yeah, we're gonna play a couple more. Most of these are actually new ones. That's why as soon as that started, I was like, alrighty then. What's first?
It's gonna be Nightmare, Lost Soul. It's Chaos.
Nightmare, Lost Soul, Face to Face. I guess we're going.
This one's called Chaos Theory.
Wait, hold on. Mikey's amp is turning on. My amp is off.
No. No, drum solo.
Okay, as Des previously stated, this is a new one. The song is called Chaos Theory, and hope you lose your mind out there in the radio land.
Until you comprehend what you can understand. Until you see the shade that will look in your eyes. The wicked and blind, walking with the blind. Walk looking down, the certainty was around. Chaos, 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 chaos. Looking forward, you're never looking back. Cause I'm talking what's for good. Nowhere I'm going, playing, you let the past. Let the past, let the past. Looking forward, you're never looking back. Cause I'm talking what's for good. Forward or forward, you let the past. Let the past, let the past.
Song is now over. This next song is called Nightmare. This is also another new one coming at you live. Whoever wants to start it can.
Put it down on me. Dominate reality. Coming up, never come alright. The devil saying the answer comes of me. It isn't what it says. It's need to still be a dream. It isn't what it seems. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I could feel so good, well wrong at the same time. I broke myself. Sometimes I need some help. Just to need recognize myself. Stay inside me, screaming for the truth. Trying to still be a dream. It isn't what it seems. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Do you know what it's like to be alone? Do you now let it down? Now let it down. Do you know what it's like to be alone? Not me. Do you know what it's like to be alone? Not me.
Again? You messed this up at practice. You kidding me?
So, let us know. Try to rise above the alter ego. Trying to rise above beyond evil.
We're sorry about that. Yeah, during that song, Dez's plug fell out. Mikey forgot the best part, literally. And I am dropping my pants. My pants drop. This next one. Will Dylan took a building.
This next one is Lost Soul.
There you go.
Another new one.
Well, Nick picks up his pants and buckles them.
I got a
in.
buckle. Hey, man. At least I didn't forget the last breakdown.
New song, Nightmare.
No, we just did that one.
Also,
It's an Avenged Sevenfold cover.
Jesus.
Are we doing the build-up? 1, 2, 3, go! All right.
Welcome to day. The period of day. Not the message. There's no way I'm thinking. One thing to do when I dream. Become reality. When the demons sink into enormity. Never run. Not just the day. With the sea on your side.
Alrighty then. We got Uno Mas. We out this month after this. This song is called Face to Face.
We have to face this conflict! We have to beat this face! We have to overcome! Face to face! With the biggest is like fighting! The whole thing this place! The honesty inside! It's the young right man! Face to face! Let the blood flow. Feel the hatred. Kneel before me. Stand the fuck down. You can't get with the devil, you won't get off.
We've been Bad Blood, and you're listening to 88.3 The Wizard. Dez is crying.